If you were to tell me a couple years ago that one of my wish list plants would only cost $20 at a Home Depot compared to several $100s a couple years back, I would have said you're out of your mind. But that's the case not only with this plant, but several others. Let's get to it. So this is the Philodendron El Choco Red, which I have wanted for several years now. The plant, back during the pandemic, 2020, 2021, would have cost about $300 for a small plant like this. But I just picked one up at Home Depot for $20, $19.98, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, but that's what we're starting to see more of nowadays. And that's simply because of the popularity of all of these beautiful tropical plants that so many people want to enjoy and have in their collections, but really just couldn't afford. So the reason why we're seeing this is because exactly that. More people want them. So a lot of big mass producers like your Costa Farms are starting to create these plants in different ways through propagation and mass produce them to the point where they're now readily available for your average Joe, folks like you and I, at a very affordable rate. But it's not just this plant that we're seeing. I mean, you folks have been seeing it in all your stores across the country and across the globe for that matter. A big one, of course, more recently is the Monstera Thai constellation. Now, obviously, we've seen Costa Farms mass producing these and selling them for about $40 for really good sized plants. But the thing is, if you were to rewind back to 2021, prices range from $500 to $5,000 for well established plants, depending on the size and variegation quality, really. But now, of course, we're seeing them at those cheaper prices. In fact, my big one that I got, and now it's a big one, I should say, that I just recently propagated and cut up. You can watch that video up in the corner if you just click on that link. That one only cost me $100 a year and a half ago, and I got it as a small 6-inch, like little baby plant. And now it's ballooned in size where its largest leaf is 29 and a half inches long. And it's gotten so big that I had to propagate it out of its, you know, pot because it just was running out of space. So anyways, I'm excited to see when I pot up that new one where it will go. But the Thai constellation is just one of the more recent ones that we're starting to see. Look at this. Costa Farms also announcing that they're releasing a Philodendron verrucosum, which is another beautiful rare plant that when I first got mine in 2021, it cost me $150 for a 4-leaf plant. And now you'll be able to get it for like 20 bucks. But I'm curious to see exactly how they end up doing the Philodendron verrucosum because that plant is a high humidity lover. So I believe that when they go to mass produce them, that they do it in a hybridization way where it'll be a little bit easier to grow them. But same thing with the El Chaco Red. I mean, this is a high humidity lover. It's from Ecuador and Colombia. So yeah, but I've got high humidity here, so it's doing well so far. We're gonna repot it in just a moment. But yeah, this all started many moons back with the Philodendron Pink Princess. Can't even talk there. Wow. Remember how much that thing used to cost? And now you can find it pretty much any place for like $10 to $20, which is kind of maddening when you think about it. And then, of course, you have your Philodendron gloriosum that a couple of years back during the pandemic would have cost you several $100s, like $500 plus. I got this baby. Now, well, I shouldn't call it a baby anymore, but when I did get it, it was a little baby, and that was 2 Septembers back, the September of 2023, when I went to New York City and got it as like a 4 or 5 or 6 leaf little baby plant, and flew it back to Denver. And now look at it, the thing is like a big beast that has exploded in growth. But I bought it for 20 bucks in New York City, just a small little baby plant. And I know here in Denver, Colorado, that you can find them for the same price at local plant shops. So yeah, but take a look at this, because not only are we seeing it with like the Philodendron verrucosum, but also Costa Farms announcing that the Monstera burley marks flame, that one is now going to be sold. They've already sold out of their current stock, but yeah, that plant even a year ago would have cost you several $100s, but now it is going to be like 20 bucks. So word from the wise, I should say, is that if there is a plant that you really want, just hold off. Hold off. If it costs you several $100s or over or close to $1,000, I can guarantee you this, that a year from now you're going to find it probably mass produced. And that actually is one of the questions that I asked you folks on my YouTube community page channel, is that among your wish list plants right now, which one are you hoping will be mass produced so it'll come down in cost? And here's what you had to say. Soda Sprout says variegated Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I want one so bad. Also, one thing I noticed is that you never see full baskets of Syndapsis, but only tiny pots with 6 to 7 leaves. I just want a giant trailing basket of everything. And TubeGoob1 said the Anthurium pallidiflorum. I'm always going to pronounce that name incorrectly, by the way. I want one too. And TubeGoob says, hopefully when they're more affordable, I'll have some room for them to thrive in my home. Same here. Please keep those comments coming, and I'm curious to know also, which one do you think will be next? I personally think that it'll be the Monstera alba, because I don't know. I mean, it's just it costs so much money. I mean, close to $1,000 for a small little plant a couple years ago, but now you're starting to see a drop in price and become more widely available and readily available to the public for cheaper prices. But also the Philodendron patriciae. Take a look at this, because a couple years ago, like during the pandemic, a well-established plant would have cost you over $500. In fact, when I got my Philodendron patriciae, I kid you not, just like a 4-leaf, 8 to 10-inch plant, it cost me $650. And now you're going to be able to find those for like $25 to $40. I did end up growing that plant to be 20 feet tall plus, by the way. And I have cuttings of it and still the mother plant as well. I love the Philodendron patriciae. In fact, the cutting that I took from it and potted it up finally has a new leaf coming out, so it's really cute. I'm excited about that. So when it comes to a plant like the Philodendron El Choco Red here, what I love about this plant is not only its velvety leaves, but on the backside it has like this beautiful red that grows in. But since I did get this from a Home Depot for $20, and I had plenty of options there, by the way, they had so many of them. This, by the way, was mass produced by Leaf Joy, which is from the Proven Winners group, and I absolutely love buying plants from them. I'm not sure if you've heard of them or checked them out before, but they're a mass-producing seller like Acosta Farms, and they sell their plants at like Home Depots here locally, at least I know in Denver, Colorado. And my gosh, the plants that they create are so beautiful and so rare. They're doing gloriosums. They've got Audaba potens and Bilietiers, but obviously now they have the El Choco Red. I did buy one from them last summer, and it's one of my favorite plants. It's called the Anthurium Heart's Desire, and it's a silver blush hybrid, and that plant is doing so well. But regardless, because it does come from a Home Depot, and I have had it here for a couple of days, I do want to take it out of its soil and repot it, and that's for a couple reasons. One, I gave it a couple days just so it can acclimate to my conditions here. But two, it's important to not only, once you get a plant from a big box store, to make sure that it's going to be incredibly safe, because keep in mind, if you're buying plants from a big box store like a Lowe's, a Home Depot, or a Walmart, chances are they probably have some pests on it. And that's because they're all bunched together, you know, and all that stuff, and especially a velvety leaf beauty like this plant. So what I did was, when I brought it home, I immediately cleaned off its leaves, and then I sprayed it around with some neem oil just to make sure. But because this soil is very soggy and wet, I do want to take it out of it and put it into a nice chunky aeroid soil mix. which, by the way, I did a video on. You can click on it up in the corner to see the ingredients that go into that, because it's something that'll make this plant thrive. Like I was saying earlier, this plant is from Colombia and Ecuador, and it grows in the rainforest there. It's a climbing plant, and I'm so excited to have it in my collection. Looks like a healthy root system that we have here. So what I'm going to do is go and wash off this soil to get it out of there without trying to disrupt the roots. So give me one moment and I'll be right back. Okay, what was nice about that was the fact that it also gave me an opportunity to wash the leaves off again. And so what I'm going to do, and I was trying to figure out, but I think I'm going to go with this size pot, which is an upgrade from its other one. And so, yeah, we're going to use the chunky aeroid soil mix. And what I love about this mix, I'm just going to place you down here for a moment. If you don't mind, I'm sorry. You'll be in your new home with good soil soon. That's the thing too, is that with a lot of these big box stores, is that when they package up their plants, they're not put in the best soil. It's pretty much just soil that's meant to, keep them alive for a while. By the way, this chunky perlite mix that I found on Amazon for only a couple bucks is excellent because it's such big chunky perlite. I'll put a link in the description here for you guys. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm using my chunky aeroid soil mix, which is great because it's got plenty of breathable room for these aeroids, like a philodendron here. And that's what it wants. And this stuff that it was in was kind of just like cocoa coir. So yeah, I mean, it's breathable, but not as good as what these babies are about to go in now. So got a nice healthy root system there and a new growth point that's coming out. So hopefully it'll acclimate well. And with a plant like this, it really wants high humidity, which is exactly what it's going to get here because my urban jungle is like decked out with humidifiers, and my tropical plants just love it. So hopefully it won't be too much of like a transplant shock for this little baby here. And I really should put a moss pole in it right now as I'm potting it up, but I don't know. I know that it's a climbing plant, but I also, part of me, I'm so sick of moss poles, and I don't know if you guys can relate, but they're just such a hassle. And so I kind of want to see it just grow kind of bushy. And then if I decide, because I'm sure by the summertime that it's going to need a repotting again, and then at that point I can decide whether or not I want to upscale its pot size and put a little moss pole in there. So we have it potted up here, and I love potting my plants up in clear plastic pots like I've explained before, because it allows me to really keep an eye on their root growth and to make sure that their soil level is good and that it is not drying out, because this is a plant that really enjoys a good moist soil, but not overly moist. I think I might have soil on my face right now because I was just wiping it off and I can't find the tissue around. But that's it. And yeah, I'm curious to know exactly what you guys think. Again, let me know in the comments what plants you guys are hoping will come in next at a cheaper price. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching another one of my planting videos. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell for more fun and interesting planty content like this. And if you like rare plants and you're curious to see what other ones might be coming down in price, check out this video I did on rare shadow plants, because those ones are cool. And the fact that you don't have to give them really bright indirect light like most rare plants. Check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.